Love After Neglect series, Episode 2, The Children Who Raise Themselves. Welcome back to Life Be Lifing podcast. If you listened to the last episode in this series, we started talking about childhood emotional neglect, the kind that doesn't always look traumatic on the outside, but quietly shapes how we experience love, relationships, and trust. Today we're going deeper. Today we're talking about the children who raise themselves, the children who learned very early that if something needed to be handled, they would have to handle it. The children who didn't necessarily grow up abused, but grew up emotionally on their own. And if you were one of those children, you probably grew up hearing something like this: "You're so mature for your age. You're so strong. You don't need help." But what many people don't realize is that sometimes strength is just survival wearing a mask. Then we have emotionally independent children. Some children grow up learning independence in a healthy way, but other children learn independence because they have no choice. They become emotionally independent because there is no adult consistently available to help them process their feelings. No one asking, "How are you really doing?" No one sitting down and helping them navigate confusion, fear, or sadness. So the child adapts. They stop asking. They stop expecting comfort. They learn to handle things alone. And from the outside, it looks impressive. Teachers admire them. Adults praise them. But inside, something very important is happening. That child is learning, if I need emotional support, I'm probably not going to get it. So they begin building emotional armor. And that armor often follows them into adulthood. Then there is parentification. Another experience many people don't talk about enough is something called parentification. Parentification happens when a child is forced to take on roles or responsibilities that belong to the adults in the household. This can look like taking care of younger siblings, being the emotional support for a parent, managing household problems, acting like the peacemaker in adult conflicts. The child becomes the one holding everything together. But here's the problem: when a child becomes responsible for everyone else's emotions, they rarely get the chance to explore their own. They grow up believing that their value comes from being useful, from fixing problems, from carrying the emotional weight of the people around them. And when that child becomes an adult, those patterns don't just disappear. They often show up in relationships. They become the partner who always gives more, the partner who fixes everything, the partner who feels responsible for everyone's emotional well being. But deep down, they may still feel like no one is holding space for them. While holding the title of becoming the strong one, many families have one person who becomes the strong one, the one who doesn't complain, the one who handles everything, the one everyone relies on. And at first, it might even feel like a badge of honor. Being strong feels powerful. Being dependable feels meaningful. But over time, something else can happen. The strong one can become invisible. People stop checking on them. People assume they don't need support. People assume they're fine because they always appear fine. And the strong one learns a painful lesson. If I fall apart, who's going to catch me? So they keep going. They keep showing up. They keep carrying weight, even when they're exhausted, even when they're hurting, even when they desperately need someone to say, "You don't have to do this alone." Let's talk about how it shows up in adult relationships. Adults who were the emotionally independent children, or the parentified children, or the strong ones, often struggle with something very specific in relationships: receiving. Giving love may feel natural. Supporting others may feel normal. But receiving care, receiving comfort, allowing someone else to carry the weight for once, can feel unfamiliar, sometimes even uncomfortable. Because deep down, part of them still believes, "I'm supposed to handle things myself." And learning to unlearn that belief is one of the biggest parts of healing. If today's conversation resonated with you, I want you to understand something important. Being the child who raised themselves was not your fault. You adapted to the environment you were given. You became strong because you had to. But healing means learning something new. It means learning that strength doesn't have to mean doing everything alone. It means allowing yourself to be supported, seen, understood. In the next episode of the Love After Neglect series, we're going to talk about something many people struggle with: how emotional neglect teaches the wrong version of love. Until next time, take care.